Bastrop County. This is our home. Here, light illuminates our river, forest, and grasslands, providing an environment with abundant beauty. The light of our relationships sustains us in such a powerful way. If you are part of the community that served in the days of COVID, you are the light that this video celebrates. From retired healthcare professionals, frontline workers, and those who handled the multiple logistics, this was a massive undertaking that could not have happened without your help.
When I got the call from Dr. Desmar Walks, our health authority, that a pandemic was heading our way, I didn't know what to expect. But she told me what would happen and how we needed to respond to it and how many people it would take to provide the testing clinics and then the vaccination clinics that would be needed. And it's just been amazing how people have stepped up and volunteered their time and talents to make that happen. I'm eternally grateful for that, and I just want to say thank you to all of you who have volunteered.
Something like that would not have happened, I don't think, in Bastrop County if it was not for, an organization like Bastrop County Cares and for the, the amazing group of community activists and volunteers and individuals that have really come together, in times of adversity in this community, and that got this done, right? I mean, we distributed, I think at this point we're almost up to 38,000 vaccinations, which is done by an almost entirely volunteer crew.
But no, I made some good friends with Sam and all the other guys and all the patrons that came through the building. I made a lot of good friends. But the real you come out when you get to talking to people that's got handicaps or situations where they can't do what you do. Mm-hmm. And it lets you know that, God is good. God, I've been blessed.
Well, what motivated me to start and volunteer for the program is to ensure the health of the people in the community. I wanted everyone in the community to get through this pandemic and to get back to a normal way of living.
So I didn't know about small towns. I didn't understand the love and support where people actually show up to help each other. And that's what's been truly amazing to me. I love Bastrop. I had no idea what this town was going to be like. I'm so blessed that I've had this opportunity to work with these people, to get to know them, to love them, and to make a difference. And I think that's what we did.
It just reinforced how wonderful the people are and how willing they were to come with a text or an email, within 30 minutes once we realized we were going to be going forward. I had 60 responses of people saying, okay, I'm going to sign up for the HIPAA training or done it. And so it was astounding how rapidly they answered the call for help.
We were able to come together as a team and bring our collective knowledge and experience and work through mitigating the circumstances that would prevent the spread of the disease in our community. Group dynamics being what they are, when people feel safe and when people feel that they're a part of something bigger than themselves, and when people are willing to share a vulnerability, you get really good things from that. You can have big wins, real success, and that was what we were able to achieve in this vaccination effort. We had senior citizens come out who had not been out doing things and volunteering during the pandemic and because of the risk to their health. They came out to help us vaccinate their neighbors, and that was truly special.
I think both of us feel compelled to continue microclinics, and we are doing that currently. So although we come together to celebrate today and to be part of a solution on a macro level, I think also what it's allowed us to do is bring, the essence of a vaccine clinic to a church. Mm-hmm. And we're doing that actively. And so we've become sort of vaccine activists, if you will, in our communities, our respective communities. And although we serve different populations of folks, we're still very much connected in the work.
Absolutely.
So.
Very parallel.
My main focus was at the registration desk, and to have someone come in and literally just sit down in front of you and doing paperwork and then completely stop and just burst out crying because she lost her husband or he lost his wife. And these are, elderly people who, they can't get around without each other, but now they find themselves getting around without the other spouse. I think that was the hardest for me, hearing those stories of loss of loved ones.
The essence of love is you don't keep it to yourself, but you give it out. And what I watched over these months of the clinics and people giving, these volunteers, is they gave of their time, they gave of their heart, they gave their smiles, they gave their warmth, they gave their safety. And really I watched God flow through them, all sorts of different people. And they were able to provide, I think, security. There were many that came in that were so anxious about getting the vaccine, so many questions surrounding COVID and all we had been through in the pandemic. But, love is safe and love is universal, and it's a language that we all can speak to one another. And I watched it in action, and I think it energizes and it inspires, and love's contagious.
I think because the experience was so smooth and so nice and friendly and warm and compassionate, because that was one of the things that we were trying to do from the very beginning, was to humanize the process and make it as compassionate and equitable as we could.
This is where our vaccination journey started, January 13th, 2020. We had our initial clinic here. We had about 20 volunteers and Walgreens helping us vaccinate over 300 people that day. I often tell people that this project has been the hardest I've ever worked, but it's also the most rewarding work I have ever done, and I feel that from the bottom of my heart.
Volunteering really brought me more happiness, getting out of my house and seeing other people. It had been so long, a full year of not really being around anybody, and being able to see, I had lots of people who full on would start crying once we gave them their dose, and we would tell them, okay, 2 weeks from now you're going to be fully inoculated. And seeing the joy that they had, they were saying, I can finally see my grandkids again, I can see my kids, I can see my brothers, my sisters. That's what brought me joy. One of the best things about everybody coming through Bastrop County Cares is you had a wide range of people. You had young folks, you had older folks, just trying to make sure that everybody was as safe as possible and could get their vaccine. They wanted to make sure that these clinics ran smoothly, and we were going to do whatever we had to do to make sure that it happened. I would gladly do this all over again, just to make sure that everybody could get the vaccine, even if it wasn't from a vaccinator point. If I could direct traffic, if I could stack papers for everybody, I would do it all, just to make sure that everybody was safe.
I think gratitude, it adds value to your life. It makes you, gives you a purpose, and it invalidates your purpose in being there. When people can say, well, I appreciate you being there. It just gives you a little check mark of, I have done something to make this other person's life worthwhile. The team and the people that I work with didn't expect anything other than to be there, to use their expertise as a nurse or a physician to just help other people feel that they were doing something that was making their life better. And it wasn't about anything political or how great the disease was. It was, if we all pull together, we can get through this, and we can all do it graciously.
You give of yourself, your time, your talent, your resources. You opened yourself up to learn new things. You opened yourself up to be uncomfortable sometimes. I am excited and also very curious in terms of what you're going to do next with these new relationships that you have built, with these new connections you have made, and the conversations you've had on how to improve your community that you so dearly love. The challenge is on.
With a special thanks to St. David's and all who fed and supported those who volunteered. You are the powerful threads of this beautiful tapestry we call home.